welcome back to Up the Villa. Delighted to be joined by Earl again, avfc Scout. You can check all of your socials out in the description of this video. So, next up, we're talking Premier League 24-25 season. Ones to watch for Aston Villa this season. Get involved in the comment section down below. I want one name who is your one to watch, who's going to have a standout season. Tell us why. And I'll look forward to reading them in the comments section. Earl, who's your one? You can have ones to watch. I'll let you have a couple more. So, who are your ones to watch this season?
Yeah, I've got a few. I'll start off with Jacob Ramsey. What do you think about that?
He's the one that I've got here for mine that's on top of my list. And I've got Ramsey. And I've got that he's going to get 10 Premier League goals and 10 Premier League assists. He's going to get double figures in both. It's going to be his major breakthrough season in the Premier League. He's going to get an England call-up. So that's what I've got written down here. He's my one. I think with Ramsey, we know the potential now. We know he's one of our own. We know what he's capable of. Last season was tough because he didn't sort of have as many minutes. He didn't have as many, he played by injury, wasn't he? If we get Sofa score up here, we've got 16 appearances, started 8 games. He got 1 goal and he got 1 assist. So it's a tough season for him. And I think now this is his season, under Emery, the development should be there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays. I don't think he's going to start the first game for Villa, but I think he'll get there. I always think that the first team that comes out, first game of the season's never the same at the end. So, yeah, I'm expecting big things. So why do you think he's your one to watch?
Yeah, I think it's just because of last season and the injury, and he's struggled to get into it. I think he'll go under the radar a lot with a lot of people, fans, not just of Villa but other clubs as well. As we've got all these exciting players now, Philogene has come off a good season, Bailey, Rodgers, Watkins. I think all these players will be getting a lot of attention. I just think Ramsey can go under the radar. I just think have a big impact.
I think the other aspect of Ramsey, which he's such a big player for us in this sense, is that nobody can do what he can do. That dribbling ability. If we're talking, some of the tough games that we'll play in the coming season, Man City away, Arsenal away, Man United away, that ability to carry the ball, can get you up the pitch 10 yards further forward. If we're really good from set pieces this season, his fouls that he gets can win us free kicks, balls in, goals off, set pieces. So I think we really missed him last season, and I think the fact that we did so well and he wasn't even part of it is huge, really. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to having him back.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think it's just cast your mind back to the season before last, just how good he was. I thought he was brilliant. Really missed him, and good to see him back.
But to be fair, he wasn't bothered about the Conference League anyway, was he? So he's had a year out. We're in the Champions League, so he can be buzzing for that. But one thing that I will say, and I think we'll caveat this with negatives as well, is I do want to see a bit of development from him as well. So I think for as much as I rate him and I love him and I think how good he is, there's a side to his game that I think he needs to improve a little bit. I think one thing for me would be 90-minute performances. I think sometimes we have little flurries from him in a game, and I'd love him to be, there for the 90, sort of like actively pressing for the 90. engaging with the opposition, winning tackles, like looking for the ball quite a lot, sort of like always wanting the ball. I think that's something that, and areas that I think are a side to his game that hopefully Emery can develop. So I think with that, I think he could be, a fantastic player for us.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, to be honest. I think when you think about it, players don't actually have the ball in a football match for that long. So when you're off the ball, it's about, maybe putting in a good tackle, getting involved, showing for the ball, pressing, all those kind of things keep you in the game. So, yeah, agree with what you're saying.
Love it. Right. So cool. Right. So next up, then we'll have a couple more. I've wrote two extra ones down. I didn't want to go like just really obvious because it's just too easy, isn't it? So I've gone with a rank outsider, I think, and I think he'll be under the radar for Villa. Tielemans. I think he's definitely one to watch. I think, I imagine he's been nurtured into this Luis role at this moment in time. We saw, that move that Ramsey scored against Bilbao, where it was like Pau to Rodgers, Tielemans banged it to Ramsey, that quick fire passing. So I've gone with Tielemans as well. I think he's going to have a real big season. And I've gone with a real outsider. I've gone with Nedeljkovic. I have been really impressed with him in pre-season. And probably when this episode goes out, he's probably gone out on loan somewhere. But no, I'm really impressed with him. I think he's spoke about in pre-season how he really wanted to grasp this opportunity, and I think he's probably done everything he possibly can to be in Unai Emery's mind. His power and his speed at 18 years of age, I think he's really, really good. I think he's comfortable on the ball. I think we're yet to really see him tested defensively, but I think, he can only be tested with what's in front of him. But Nedeljkovic, I like him. So I'm interested. What are your thoughts on Nedeljkovic in pre-season?
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable that he's 18. To be fair, I'm trying not to overdo it, trying not to heap the pressure on him, expectation. But he looks like he could be a proper talent, doesn't he? Athletically, he's rapid. He's 18. He's got the broad shoulders as well. So I think down the line he could probably bulk up a bit and wouldn't lose a yard of pace. And then it's just his mentality as well. He's done some really good interviews. You can see when he's on the pitch, he's playing for his shirt, isn't he? He's hungry. He's doesn't stop running. And then what better manager to have than Unai Emery for a few years developing and whatnot. Probably won't see him starting the first game of the season or anything like that. I'd ease him into it. But yeah, what a talent.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you got any others that wants to watch?
So on my list, I've got Kane Kessler. Now, obviously, he's gone out on loan, so he's one to watch for Villa fans, but at Preston North End. I think this could be Kane Kessler's season, like we saw from Jadon Philogene last year. He went away to Hull and had a really good year. I think going to Preston. We've had loans out to them before with Cameron Archer. They're a good championship team. I think they play a 3-5-2 with wing backs that'll suit him. He's my one to watch. Kane Kessler out on loan. I think it could be his year. He really pushes on.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's I think I said this on the watch along that don't want to be disrespectful to any clubs that he's been at before, but it feels like a proper championship club that he's at, and that are probably going to do quite well. You know, they're very rarely past mid-table, are they? So, you know, they're going to be, you know, winning games, doing well. I just think if he can sort of make that spot his own and do well, then it'd be fantastic for Villa. Right, so got a question for you, right? And I want you guys in the comment section at home to get along with as well. So put yours in there. What is your wild shout of the season? So something that can happen, we could achieve something, a player could do something. But if you had to pick one wild shout, what would it be?
My wild shout is John Duran scored double-digit goals in the Premier League.
Who for? Us.
For Aston Villa. He may not be here anymore, but I think that's my hot take. I think he'll. I don't mind my strikers have that little bit of confidence, bit of arrogance. Probably went a bit too far with it, but yeah. 10 goals would be my target.
And you think that's for Villa?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we've seen the rumours of the number 9. Don't know what you think about that.
Yeah. Well, I've got my wild shout, right, and I'll get your reaction from it, right? I'll get your reaction from it. I think that Aston Villa will reach the quarter-final of the Champions League.
Yeah. I don't think that's completely crazy.
No, because I mean, logically, the way I've looked at it, I think Emery got Villarreal to the semi-final, and I think we're in this now big group, aren't we? So in our qualifier in our group, if we get 4 wins out of 8, we'd pretty much be mid-table, wouldn't we? So we then go into the playoff game to get into the round of 16. So we win that, win the round of 16, win the quarterfinals, and I don't know. I just think, the more I think about our team, I think we could be quite dangerous in the Champions League with some of the players we've got. Like, we've been chatting about Ramsey, Bailey, Watkins. We've got quality there. So that's my wild shout for the season. Villa to get to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. And yeah,
I like that prediction, to be fair. I think in the Champions League, I think I said this last time I came on, but we're not going to be coming up against these kind of low block teams, week in, week out. We're going to come up against teams that want to play football. I think we've got the players to hurt teams in transition. I think that's probably one of the areas we were best at last season. So yeah, I think it's possible. And you mentioned as well the Emery Villarreal Champions League run from a few years ago. I'd recommend just to anyone out there, just maybe go back and watch some of the highlights from those games, watch some of those games. I think it could be quite close to what we see from how Villa might set up and approach the Champions League this season.
Yeah, and I know like Dortmund, they've done so well in the Champions League before, but they're not a team that at the start of the Champions League last year, I don't think many would have said the final was going to be Dortmund Real Madrid. Like I don't think people would have called that. So yeah, I think we would do all right. So I'll ask you one more question before we go. Then you can pick any team to play. So from pot 1, we're going to play a big team home, and then we're going to play another one away. Which team would you want to play at home, and then which one would you want to play away?
Oh, can't quite remember who's in which pots, but what I'll say is I wouldn't mind Juventus at home. Mm-hmm. Bit of a homecoming for Dougie Luiz. That could be quite cool. Give him a bit of a send off that we didn't quite maybe get to do. That could be quite interesting. and then away from home. I think I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to pick a different one. I'm going to say Bayern Munich at the Allianz.
Oh, that would be that. Do you know what? That's the one that I've forgot. That's the one that I'd take away. So I've just managed to find pot one. So pot one, this is what we've got for pot one. So we will play either Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, PSG, Inter Milan, Dortmund, Leipzig, or Barcelona. So we'll play two of those. So my dream at home is Real Madrid. It don't get better than that, does it? Like you can't play a better team than Real Madrid at home. There isn't one. Like it's factual. They're the best team in Europe. So that's who I want at Villa Park, and then whoever else I'd take. But we can't play the English teams. So, but there's some all right teams in pot one. I mean, imagine if we got, I don't know, Dortmund and Leipzig. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yes, doable.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at some of these teams. So Juventus are like pot two as well. So, it does feel like a Dougie reunion, doesn't it? That these things happen, don't they? Like these little weird things. They merge, don't they? So, Dougie penalty in the last minute. Martinez saves it. Villa win 1-0. It's in the script, isn't it? So I just thought we'd have a bit of fun with this one. Villa fans, get involved in the comment section down below. Earl's socials will be in the description. So maybe get you on next week. Build up to next season, but you'll definitely be on the debrief anyway. So cheers for coming on, mate.
Yeah, nice one. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.